So we started the series called Caprices in 2011 when we started to experiment with the format performative installation, installative performance. We thought, and we are still thinking, like in every space there is something missing from like the connection between visual art and performing arts. Like we really wanted to try to find some kind of balance and the connection point in between those two like genres. And all Caprices that we have done so far have been dealing with this aspect quite intensively.
Yeah, to add, it has been switching between gallery space and theater space. So Caprices is a series that always switches places and tries to use both theater methods in gallery space and vice versa. So this time it's a continuation from coming from a gallery space where we had our last part called Caprices preamp. So some of the pieces are now a part of this play, and some parts that are made specifically to here will continue their experimentation in new spaces.
The space, that like the Kiasma theater space, is really inspiring for us because from every perspective, like the angle is a bit different, and you have to recalculate like how to fit yourself and objects in the space. And like compositional wise, it is like really all the time fine tuning, like really millimeter by millimeter. And this is a great challenge for us because like usually in the context of black box, like the space is quite symmetrical, but here the space is really like detailly, really like has some different nuances, and this is a great challenge for us.
Maybe Caprices method fits in here in a way that we try to really zoom into some really specific aspects of the room. This time I feel we are dealing with kinda embodying ourselves into this room, and what we are dealing with a lot is nervous system and going inside the walls and through the walls at some point, so it's a really bodily experience this time.
My background is more performing arts related, and Mihkel's background is more visual art related. And like as I said before, like this connection between like this visual art context and performing art context, in that way we are really complementing each other and like finding the way when one is proposing an idea, like how to like create many extra layers in order to like put some effort in the scene that it's like really multi-dimensionally readable and understandable, or not understandable in that way.
As an artist lately, I feel what matters to me a lot is temporality in both ways. In exhibitions I have worked with something that goes missing after the show, so only the show is the plate to see, and sometimes none of the pieces remain. And with Caprices I feel it's the opposite. So many pieces actually live their own life after the play is finished. I'm just fascinated by the idea of how can it be so if actually the time stops after the play, then still the pieces from the play start to live their own life later.
For me, the most inspiring is to stay in between different areas and to really zoom in and not going anywhere like that is like formulated in a way. Like I really like to stay in somewhere in between, and like this really keeps me going and gives me a lot of energy to continue.
I guess that's one of the main aspects of Caprices also, that it's always searching and finding its new paths and new ways, so it can't be fully formulated. It's always in continuous change, and I guess something that has been uniting us also, always being on the road, taking new challenges.
Yeah, endless fine tuning in a way.
Probably, or definitely actually.
Yeah.